My name is Linda Briscoe, and I am the lead case developer. I started with the organization in March of 2019, and I helped found the research team. It is a very thorough process. The process can take sometimes quite a lot of time. Usually, if it is a case that has a lot of merit to it, it can easily take a year to 18 months to review. You just can't believe that in our country, in our justice system, that these type of situations are occurring. And what we found as we've looked at cases is that sometimes there's more of a rush to convict someone rather than convict the right person. We established criteria that the petitioner needs to meet. So we have an intake analyst, and she's the initial point of contact. So when the letters come in, she'll review them and see if they meet our basic criteria. Sometimes there's correspondence back and forth to clarify certain points with the information they're providing us. Then once the individual is viewed as meeting our criteria, it moves on to our case development stage. And at that point, the case developer utilizes investigative reports, a 12-page questionnaire, which we have the petitioner complete, correspondence with the petitioner, as well as certain appellate documents to be able to begin the process of reviewing their case.
I do the initial contact with any petitioner that is looking to get his or her case looked into. Once we receive the questionnaire, and they're supposed to send their direct appeal documents with us, so that's their first appeal after their initial trial that they went through. We send those to a consultant. She looks at those and she will say, I think this is a good case to move forward with, or I think this is a case we need to go ahead and tell them we can't be of assistance right now. I get probably 5 to 10 letters a week. So if they write us, and they seem to meet the criteria, which is crime has to occur in Kansas or Missouri, has to be a homicide or a sexual assault that they were convicted of, and then they have to be serving at least 25 years or more in prison. So if we see that they are meeting that criteria, or we can't tell by that letter if they're meeting that criteria, we'll write them back. We ask for a criteria letter, which is basically them explaining the facts of their case. We say it can be up to 10 pages, just kind of anything they know about their case that has happened.
I'm Jane Long, and I'm one of the case developers at Miracle of Innocence. The case developer receives a case that's already been kind of vetted a little bit by our intake person, and they're claiming innocence and no involvement in the case. We do not want to get people out who are actually guilty of these crimes. If they actually committed the crimes, then they are where they need to be. But we really are, and it's very difficult to find something that could exonerate a person, because it has to be something that hasn't already been known and developed. So it's important to go through any files and see what line of thinking has already been brought up in court, because you can't do that again.
My name is Dale Jacobs. I'm currently a volunteer case consultant at Miracle of Innocence, where I'm very happy to be working with a wonderful group of people who struggle through this work to try to do the right thing. I've been doing it for over 20 years, and I have examined over 100 cases of claims of wrongful conviction. And I have to say I'm very proud and happy that my work contributed in about 17 exonerations, people that came home, which is just so wonderful. And I hope that number goes up. Basically, all I do is exhaustively read the record. I don't really contact the petitioners. I don't do field investigations. I'm not a scientist. But I know how to effectively comb through the record of a case to suss out what's there that points to innocence and look into that.
A lot of times if there's not hard evidence in the case, or that evidence has been destroyed, or something else happens, that's going to be hard to get that person back into court.
Evidently, it's also very hard to get DNA testing approved. You have to get approval. Sometimes it takes a judge to say, yes, you can test that for DNA. It seems to many people like a no-brainer. If it exists and DNA would determine it, the person did it or didn't, why would you not want to have that tested? I've been told that in order to get some documents that I would like for on the Kansas side, that I need to have, that they would be available if they were subpoenaed. But I have no subpoena power, and we have no one in our office with subpoena power in the state of Kansas. So things like that, it would be helpful if we had somebody who would just say, oh yeah, I'm legally licensed in the state of Kansas. I would be glad to subpoena those records for you.
You couldn't help but think, what can I do?
You know, yeah, my mind is open. I understand that there's bad everywhere. It's a good feeling to see that what we're doing is actually going to help somebody.
There is just so much injustice, and the consequences are so monumental. An innocent person has been caged because of these mistakes and misdeeds, that the actual perpetrator was never brought to justice. Because when you see a news report about a crime, and if it's a horrible crime, everybody is emotional and angry about what happened to the victims. And it's very easy to be persuaded that what the authorities are telling you happened is what happened. Very often it isn't. I think the only hope we have is that there are enough organizations who are watching the detectives to make sure that they understand these people are not alone. There's others who will come along and try to help them.